Magic, because I'm a little unusual as a speaker here. I don't get to bring any toys with me, so I'm already at kind of an engagement deficit with all of you, but that's kind of the nature of my job. What I do with the American Center for Children and Media is look worldwide at trends and developments in children's media policy, research, business, creative practice, and then analyze those and help the industry use those to make smart decisions that are the right thing to do for kids but are also financially sustainable. That sounds kind of dry, but I think on the continuum of great jobs, I actually fall closer to Duck Duck Moose field tester than I do to picky teacher wardrobe mistress. Part of my work in doing that is to be alert to relevant and emerging memes. Children's media has always been kind of a playground for memes, from pop culture ones like the Davy Crockett coonskin cap or the rumors of gay Teletubbies, to some that are more sort of dire murmurs about media's effect on children. Sit too close and you'll ruin your eyes, short segments ruin attention span, decrease attention span, digital kids can't write standard English, things that we need to put out there and debunk. But recently, just in the last couple of weeks, I've noticed a new one that's come out, and that is a new meme emerging that's a screen is a screen is a screen. And this is my first chance really to talk about it to a group. So it may be a little disjointed as I do that, but I wanted your thoughts because I'm starting to speak and write about this idea. And while I can see some truth and some fiction to it, at its heart, I find the idea of a screen is a screen is a screen to be antithetical to what Duster Magic stands for, to its principles. So that's why I want to talk about it here, so that it's something we can talk about over the next couple days. A few weeks ago I published this article. I don't know if all of you can see it. Suggesting that we as children's media creators need to be more explicit about what we put into our works, not promising outcomes, but talking about the educational goals, the design, the content development, the intended audience, and so on, so as to better and more honestly communicate with parents and satisfy their needs, and also at the same time combat the criticism that we get about overpromising and under-delivering. By contrast, a screen is a screen is a screen encourages parents to say, it doesn't matter how my kid spends screen time. It's also a facile way for critics, activists, critics of the industry to tar all media without doing the hard work of addressing content or context. And it provides creators a kind of excuse to throw shovelware out into a scary and fast-changing market. So here are some of the predictable and some surprising voices that are saying a screen is a screen is a screen. Last week, the American Academy of Pediatrics released its updated policy on young children and media, and not surprisingly, they reiterated their no screen time for under 2-year-olds position. But what I find really dismaying is that the new statement treats enormous changes since they first issued the statement in technology almost coincidentally. They just refer to screen time or time spent with media throughout the new statement, and entirely negatively. If you look at the new technology segment of their new policy, it's entirely about sexting, porn, and pro-anorexia websites. No mention of the educational potential, the play potential. So the quote here, at the moment we seem to feel it's all the same as TV, comes from one of the members of their Council on Communications, the one that's in charge of this. Common Sense Media published this story 2 weeks ago. This one's a little hard to read, but I'll have the slides available for anyone who wants them. I'm really agog at the premise of this. The article is, what's better for kids, computers, TV, or games? So the premise is that one platform, agnostic of content, could be better than the others. But then the specific quote suggests that that age-appropriate material is the only real guideline. Beyond that, screen choice is unimportant. Here's a blogger for Kid Glue, a site that helps parents engage their kids through popular culture, that says not only are all screens equal and none necessary, but also that games and electronic devices will only frustrate small children. So I don't think he's seen Warren's video from last night of small kids with the iPad. This one actually surprised me. This is from Marketing Daily, and it's on the challenges of multi-screen advertising strategy. On the one hand, I can see how if you want your message everywhere that wherever the eyeballs go, that any screen is just a delivery mechanism. But since every platform has a unique relationship with its users, I would think that for advertisers in particular, screen choice would be critical. Now on the bright side, here's one of our usual critics, Dimitri Christakis from the University of Washington, who's acknowledging that choices and uses are more important than just time spent with screen. Texting is not the same thing as playing World of Warcraft, he says. Resist lumping all technology together. Unfortunately, in the context of the article, and I can provide links for all of these, the way he's using that to create a distinction only between saying digital writing is preferential over gameplay. So it makes it feel like a throwback to me to the time when we talked about keyboarding in teaching computing, not media literacy. So where is the truth and where is there hyperbole in the screen is a screen is a screen? And how do we tease the myth from the reality with kids and parents and advocates and creators as well? So I've just thrown up some ideas here that I think we can be talking about over the next couple days. I hope you can see that. I can duck down for those who are on this side. Since kids come to media, on the screen is a screen side, since kids come to media seeking particular gratifications, whatever device delivers the goods should be okay with them. And migration of television viewing to other platforms offers kind of a graphic example of that. But at the same time, there's no transitive property of screens. You can watch video on an iPad, but you can't run apps on a television. So that's in the favor of a screen is not a screen. Also, since Kaiser's Generation M study from about 2 years ago, or about a year ago, I guess, found that new devices add to rather than displacing other old devices, and that kids multi-screen, multitask. It appears that kids, at least, young people, view screens as having parallel, not identical functions. The context of kids' screen use, you see here, I have context is greater than or equal to content. The context is as important as the content, and kids choose accordingly. Some screens are fixed, and some go with you. Some excel at storytelling, and some are best for gaming. Some are solitary, and some are social. Some are self-contained, and some help you reach around the world. There we go. Oh, I got ahead of myself here. Sorry about that.
Microsoft's helping.
What happens when you bust your ego?
Yeah,
All right, there we go. Parents are inundated by messages about the impact simply of screen time, and usually those messages are bundled with cautions about how it displaces reading, it displaces outdoor play, it displaces imaginative play. This actually was disproved in the Kaiser study. They found that kids, even those who use a good bit of screen time, are also doing all those other things. Kids' lives are not one-dimensional. But we need to communicate better with parents about using different screens to facilitate the activities that at least in this context, that they value. So to talk about ebooks as another way into reading, to talk about augmented reality apps like Hidden Park as a way of facilitating outdoor play. I think I was talking with someone about this last night, that today's younger parents, we may assume, since they're digital natives, have a lot better sense of what their kids are doing with technology, but it's changing so fast. Everyone's marching along sort of in step, and I think we have to assume there's still a technology gap even between today's young parents and today's young children. Context, again, not just content, in this case refers to helping parents differentiate among screens by talking about is use of a PSP at the doctor's office, or taking pictures with the iPhone, the same as channel surfing. What interface is developmentally appropriate for toddlers or those with special needs? The direct touch of an iPad probably beats the hand-eye coordination of using a mouse or a game controller. Every screen offers unique ways to find the best content and to avoid what you don't want. Navigation, whether it's purchase, navigation, filters. And finally, except for research into cumulative screen time, like the Kaiser Family Foundation study, most effects studies look at one particular medium, and I would say it's impossible to generalize to other media based on that. From creators' perspective, content creators have a stake in stopping the screen is a screen meme from diminishing creative development. There's financial pressure on the left side here. There is financial pressure on a lot of creators today for what's called 360 commissioning. wanting IP to be on all platforms for fear of leaving eyeballs or cash on the table. But that's a commissioner's 360. It's not a creator's 360, it's not a kid's 360. The creator and the kid-friendly counterbalance is the movement towards transmedia, emphasizing each medium's unique power to contribute to a coherent whole. Two other factors that feed creative and screen diversity. One is differing editorial filters between streams with almost unlimited bandwidth, App Store, Internet, and then curated screens that are limited to a particular schedule, like a cable channel. The other inseparable point from that is that different screens have really different financial models, which shape formats, genres, tools, development, and distribution. So that is a really quick run-through of my arguments about why it's important to push back against the all screens are created equal concept. And I hope that as we play with things over the next couple days, we can continue to talk about that. Thank you much.
Thank you.